Deborah wanted to know, and I guess from a female's perspective, well, she has her opinion, of course, from a female's perspective, but is it okay for men to cry?
When you say cry, I mean, is there a reason for them to cry? Is it a sad moment, or are they just emotional? Because there's a difference. Because some men are just very emotional, and that's a no-no. But I mean, if it's like a funeral, something traumatic, and they're crying, I see nothing wrong with that.
So as long as it's death-related, I guess.
I wouldn't say death-related, but I mean, if it's something, it all depends on the situation that they're crying.
It's you guys out there that can let us know what you think about men crying. Good or bad, you females can let us know. You can call us up 718-393-5385.
I'm going to ask you something as a man. If a woman breaks up with a man and he cries, do you think he's weak?
I wouldn't say he's weak, but it depends on the level of the relationship at the time of the breakup.
I mean, it was a serious relationship.
If it was serious, then I could see if time was invested.
Yeah, like not just a month relationship or 6. I mean, like maybe years with this person, or maybe you were engaged. It was a serious situation.
Yeah, if it was a serious, I wouldn't.
I'm not even talking about marriage, because if you cry, a marriage, yeah, of course you're gonna be emotional. But I'm just talking about maybe you were together 10 years, engaged, lived together, and it's gonna come to an end.
No, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. The person is weak. They may be emotional, overly emotional.
But you think if a guy cries, it would be appropriate or no?
In that situation, like I said, it depends on how much time he invested in the relationship. So if he invested a lot of time in the relationship and was someone that he was really into, then I could see that he'll break down, lose that person, or also if he feels that it was his fault, something that he did, and he was trying to make up and it still didn't work out, then
I think every woman has experienced that. They break up with a guy, or it comes to end and he's kind of emotional.
Ruth says that crying is healthy. She says showing emotion is okay in her book.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't expect you to, like, if we're just watching a movie on TV and you start to boo-hoo as a guy, no, something's wrong, but
yeah, Evelyn says as long as he doesn't turn into a crybaby.
Right.
And yeah, she was just telling Rhonda that some men are crybabies. So
yes, that I agree with. Yeah. There's some men that are very, very emotional.
Right.
All around. And it's not good, but that's a whole nother show. There's some men that's too emotional.
Yeah, so that was just a question from Vanessa says she wants a man to cry over her.
I think every woman has experienced that.
A man crying over them?
I mean, every woman should have experienced that at least once in their life. I mean, I want to hear from you ladies. Have you ever experienced that?
Does it empower you to?
No, I'm not saying I want you to cry, but I mean, I should think if you've been in, different relationships at one point or another, a man has cried over you. I mean, I would think most women have experienced that. I don't know. Maybe we should take a vote.
So the question out there, so we have 2 questions.
Yeah.
One posted by Deborah is it okay for a man to cry? And Miss Stacy is just asking the women directly, have you ever had a man cry over you? And she's saying that every woman should have a man cry over her at some point in her life.
I would think so.
I wouldn't go through all that. I mean,
you're different.
I wouldn't say all that.
You're different. I don't know. You're different, so we're not gonna include.
No, what I'm saying is that I don't think that
you don't think it's right for a man to cry over a woman.
No, I say it depends on the situation, but I don't think that women. I mean, I know Vanessa's probably joking, but I don't think a woman should be looking forward to.
No, I'm not saying you're looking forward to it, but I'm pretty sure a woman has experienced that maybe at least once.
Yeah, so
maybe. Everybody
out there, just let us know what you think. 718-393-5385. That's the number for the studio. We just get some of the. See, Evelyn doesn't want any man to cry over her.
It's not that you want the guy to cry, but it all depends on the breakup. It all depends on the circumstances. You know, sometimes things do get emotional, especially if you invested a lot of time with this person. It's not easy to walk away.
Yeah, Carla says that crying cleanses the soul. So
yeah, especially maybe if he's guilty of doing something wrong.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's a long-term relationship and it was something that he felt that he did wrong, then I could see the crying. But
yeah, because he realized he's about to lose his woman. Yeah, and he messed up. If that was a circumstance, he messed up and he's about to lose his woman. He better.
So, talking about, is it okay for men to cry? So for those that are just now checking in, and that's where, you know, dry cry and I cry, you cry. I just felt that
we all cry.
Just wanted to throw that in the mix, you know, one time. So yeah, the question that was put out there, and that's from Deborah: is it okay for men to cry? So
it depends the situation.
Yeah, I would say it depends. Like funerals, definitely.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I can't expect you to be tough guy out of. Come on.
You know, loved one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't. Overall, like, you know, I mean, you asked the question if I feel a man is weak if his woman left him, he was crying.
Right.
I just said it just depends on how deep that relationship is. So I wouldn't.
Because he know what he's missing and what somebody else is going to be getting. He better cry.
Well, it depends on if he actually did anything wrong.
Most times men always do something.
That's a different.
Women are angels. Story. We do nothing, okay? We just look cute and that's it. We don't cause any trouble. It's always the men.
Y'all cause the most trouble, the most complaints, the most arguments, the most agitations, the most.
Excuse me. Hey, hi. I'm in the room. Okay.
The most trouble. The most madness, the most sadness, the most just doing
no, keep going. It seems like you got a lot to say. I'm just gonna stay quiet.
Women just doing the most. So
you just have a long list, don't you?
So if you guys out there agree with me, the number for the studio is 718-393-5385.
My ladies are not gonna agree with you.
If you feel that, you know, women just
angels.
Do too much.
Angels. Don't you see my wings? Hello? You see wings? Okay. We're angels. We do nothing.
Yeah, that's what you.
That's what?
That's what you think.
Okay.
So Mary says that men do cry when they do nonsense and lose a good woman.
Yes, they sure do. In every way, especially if that woman was taking care of him, he better cry. That's his meal ticket.
Shouldn't be. If she was his meal ticket, then
nowadays a lot of men
should have a reason for crying.
Without a woman, they'd be homeless.
Well, that's a subject for a different.
Yeah, sure. They better cry because they'd be on the street.
So if this number for the studio once again is 718-393-5385. I want to say good night to Hazel. Thank you for checking this out, and thank you to everybody out there as well. So. Yeah, we just talk about is it okay for men to cry, and pretty much the consensus from the women that are in the chats that say that it's okay for a man to get cried. They're not gonna, for a man to cry, they're not gonna look at him as emotional or soft or anything like that. So it's, you know, we're human beings, so we're gonna at some point.
Yes, you're human, but I'm not gonna expect you to cry all the time.
No, not for everything.
I mean, if we get into a little argument, you're crying. No, something's wrong. Like a woman wants a man to, like, you know, talk back, be a man, but not cry every time we get into a little argument. No, something's wrong there. Something's definitely wrong.
So now, do women cry too much?
I mean, I can only speak for myself. I think women gotta always be tough and not show that side.
So you wouldn't.
But that's me. I just feel like some women tend to cry for every little thing, but gotta tough it up. Gotta man it up.
So they're using the term "man up" means
woman up, I should say.
So then you gotta men shouldn't be.
No, crying. I just feel women some women tend to cry for every little thing, and I think some women do take it. They shouldn't cry all the time, but I mean, just be a woman, you know. Hold it down, you know. Keep the tears in sometimes.
No, you know, women can't help it, and that's what, you know, part of what I guess draws men to women, that emotional side, and especially like when women let it out, and they let it out to try to make it seem like the man is at fault for something.
Well,
So
I mean,
y'all know how to turn it on and turn it off. Y'all know how to.
I mean, we use it to our advantage,
Yeah.
especially if you want something. You know, you just let like one tear roll out. You don't have to let both tears, you know, but at least one, and you should get what you want, you know. Let me. I'm not condoning that, but you know, sometimes a little tears helps. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But with you, would that help? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, probably
so-
not.
gee, I don't even know why I asked that, but yeah, Mr. No Emotions, yeah, that wouldn't even work with you, but
And just real quick for Papa Ross, after the show, I'll contact him, and 'cause he was looking for some details about the show. So after the show,
okay.
I'll give him some details. So just keep it locked, Papa Ross, and I'll probably send a friend request or something, and then we'll link up after the show. So yeah, women do the most. They do cry a lot. They do. Well, I don't want to get into it.
I would kind of agree with you. Some women tend to, cry for every little thing. Like sometimes it's not even that serious. You know, you don't have to cry for everything.
And Hazel says, crocodile tears.
Yeah.
Women know how to. Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. If it's necessary, sometimes, we know how to put on the waterworks, you know. That's how sometimes we get things, you know. You know, we use our women powers. As you always say, women have powers, right?
Everybody men have powers, women have powers. They just have to know how to use their powers for good.
Yeah.
And not using the crying powers to get what they want.
It all depends on what it is.
The Gallery every Tuesday. Miss Stacy, Nicole Renee, and Badman Benny.